Here they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more, and the West Australian champion has done it again.
Well, another big edition of Talking Trots this week. Glad to be back. Thank you for Glenn Moore for filling in last week. And this week, another big meeting. The Pure Steel is the main race at Gloucester Park on Friday night. 9 races. Another early start at Gloucester Park, the first at 4:26. It's a big hello to Glen Mortimer. Morts, welcome to the program.
Welcome back, Michael. Good to have you back as part of the team. As always, Silky did an excellent job whilst you were away.
Didn't go as long as I thought it might have.
I'm surprised because I think we asked about every race that was on the weekend, but as always, he's very thorough. Make sure he finds out the most he can for the punters and did a good job. And speaking of good jobs, Bomber did a great job last weekend, plus 6 units. And Ollie, 4 winners from 4 bets, so can't do much better than that. But as always, great night of racing last Friday night at Gloucester Park. Ambit Sire just rolled along in front in the first, making it hard for anything to make ground, just solid quarters. Patient Drive by Dylan on Hale St Louis scored easily in the end. Then Ideal Tomato all the way with Junior in the cart. Fairly slow lead time, and first quarter finishing off well with 28.4 and 28.8. The code breaker was always going to be hard to beat when he got the lead. Kyle skipped away with 400 metres to go, and that was that. Finvara gave favourite backers a few anxious moments, but in the end it was a Hall trifecta. Montana DJ blew the start big time, and with the early speed it set it up well for Karana. Queen in the corner, straight to the front, and that was that. Altaret was declared on the show by Junior, and that was another easy watch, and Wall Street Girl pushed her way to the front and was always going to be very hard to beat in the last. Well, I think we must have run Junior into some form last weekend, because Friday night Gary Hall Senior had a double, Ryan Bell had a training double as well. Gary Hall Jr., 4 winners. That's what happens when you come on our show, Michael. It's been a while since I've said Gary Hall Jr., 4 wins, and a double to Kyle Symington.
He did have a couple of weeks off there at one stage.
We're going to claim it anyway. On the Saturday down at Bunbury, a training and driving double to Aidan DeCampo in great form as well, and another double to Gary Hall Jr. Sunday at Calabaron was the Lang, Inwood and Emily Savelko show.
5.
5 for Emily, 4 for Lang. Amazing. A brilliant day out down there in Calabaron. The Cunardin Cup, and I'm pretty sure you watched that, Michael. It was a great race. Monday at Pinjarra, another driving and training double to Aidan DeCampo, driving double to Denny Roberts, and a driving double to Kyle Harper. And Tuesday, Lang Inwood wasn't happy enough with Sunday, came back, got another double, and also another double to Kyle Harper. So it was a big week, Michael, with some great racing and some more great racing to come in the week ahead.
Sure is. Let's hope Emily can take her good form from Sunday into Friday night.
At least once,
Get one home, eh? But it has been a big week in harness racing. Mortia went through it thoroughly as usual, and some great performances there, as we've seen. Yeah,
and of course we've got the York Cup this weekend as well.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, which is great. Should be a good race, and another great weekend of harness racing, Michael, ahead.
It sure is, and it's starting to heat up in Queensland, Morts, and with the Ultimate Driver Series announced last week by Racing Queensland and the Creek Albion Park, we thought we'd get the Senior Racing Manager for Harness of Racing Queensland on the phone in David Brick, and David joins us on the line. Bricky, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mick. Good to chat, and hi, Glenn.
Mate, exciting news coming out of Queensland last week. You've got the big carnival coming up with all eyes on Queensland, but you've announced an Ultimate Drivers Series where you're possibly going to get the best drivers all around the world to converge on Albion Park in January, February next year. Can you tell us about the series?
Yeah, thanks, Mick. Yeah, look, we're looking to try, and we think drivers are a real key part of the industry, and so we've come together to try with the club to try and come up with a concept where we could get the best drivers from across Australia was initially our thought, but I guess we're trying to cast the net even a bit wider and see if we get some from the US and maybe Europe as well.
And you've had in the promotional things from Tim Tetrick and Jamie Jamison from the world, and then even it'd be great to even get a guy like Bjorn Gupp from Sweden over.
Yeah, that's right. Well, interestingly enough, Bjorn's actually reached out to us. So I got a random email from him on Thursday night last week saying, I want to see.
Oh, beautiful.
So, but yeah, well, look, we're certainly trying to tee those drivers up. The key part of the series is it is a slot series, so that makes it a little bit different, where slot holders go and select their driver instead of a horse. And so I guess that the best driver in the world is going to be different from one slot holder to the next. So we think that'll add some variety.
So can you just walk us, so there's 10 slots in total for drivers. And then how are horses allocated along the way? So you select which driver you want, but then how do the horses get allocated across the 20 races?
Yeah, so it's probably not a lot different to a normal driver series in the sense that trainers will nominate their horses for the races. They'll be penalty free, as we normally do with these type of series, to try and encourage participation. Clearly, we want all drivers or slot holders to get a runner in each race, so they'll be drawn up as per usual. But then the next part of it's a little bit different. I guess in the past, normally when that happens, each driver gets a barrier. Might get barrier 1 once and barrier 2 once and so on. But in this scenario, we're going to allow the drivers to be or the drivers and the slot holders to pick their horses from the fields available, and that'll be done in a draft style. So if you're not sure if you're aware of a snake style draft, but whoever picks first, then their next pick will basically be number 20, whereas the person who picks 10th, they'll get 11th pick as well. So it sort of evens out over the course of the draft, and the 200 horses will go in that order. But the slot holder can pick any horse that's available when it's their turn to pick. So, Glenn, you might pick a horse in race 1, but Mick might come up and think, my driver, I want him in the last race on the Saturday night. So you can pick any driver. You don't have to just go in race order.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Bit tricky. Just trying to process all that. So, how many horses are nominated?
So there'll be 20 races in total.
Yep.
So it's 200 horses, obviously.
200 horses, yeah.
Over 2 nights.
So 20 races, 10 horses in each.
20 races, 10 horses in each.
Yeah, okay. So effectively you get the chance to pick whatever horse is available,
yep.
But obviously you can only pick one horse in each race. So.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yep.
Yeah, okay. And the prize money available, $250,000?
Yeah, it's just a tick over that, 260.
And how is that over and above the prize money, or is that included?
Yeah, so that's correct. Yeah. So the prize money will be just distributed to the trainers and the owners in a 90-10 split.
Yeah.
And then the drivers' percentages and the fees that normally would come out of that goes into the pot of money, along with the slot money and also some additional money from Racing Queensland. So that makes the 260. 240 of that will be distributed as prize money to the 10 slot holders, and then there'll be $1,000 per race to the winner to try and obviously encourage competition right throughout the series.
Okay, sounds an interesting concept. How did you come up with it? Is it obviously a collaboration between yourself and the club and the sponsor?
Well, look, the initial concept actually came from one of our leading trainers and drivers over here in Trent Dawson,
Okay.
who threw up the idea of basically drivers throwing in $1,000 each, and they drive for the pot. That was initially the discussion, and then we, I guess, took that from there and thought, well, how can we make this a bit bigger, and how else can we get others involved? And the slot concept came through.
Okay, that's fantastic. And you've obviously had a lot of positive feedback and plenty of people that want to get involved, because I've already had a syndicate that wants to buy a slot and put a driver in there as well.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of interest, both locally, interstate, and then overseas, certainly New Zealand, America, and as I said, Bjorn's reached out as well from Europe. So we think that there'll be hopefully a lot of slot holders from different areas, and that will help with the variety of drivers from across Australia, but also internationally as well.
So when selecting the horses, those 20 races, that's all done at once. So in other words, I've got pick number one, I take pick number one, then I've got pick number 20. So those races are all picked at once?
Yeah, so what we anticipate to do with that, we're going to work through that a little bit, Glenn, but what we'll probably do is we'll probably set up virtually, and all the slot holders will be on the call, and then we'll just go through that process. Probably a bit similar to if you see like the AFL draft, when they go through that process, and they'll go from one team to the next and get their chance to pick. So in terms of how we package that up as a broadcast, it may be something that we do in-house initially, and then work through, releasing, say, a 5 or 10 minute segment of how it played out.
Yeah, okay. No, it's certainly a very interesting concept, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And you're right. I mean, drivers dictate a lot of the wagering, as you'd know, Bricky. It's sometimes you've got these drivers that are 2 or 3 points under what they should be every race because they're a favourite, and it doesn't matter who they drive for. It's the driver, like the jockeys in racing. If you're Marrera, you're probably 2 points under what you should be every race in Hong Kong. Yeah. and the same over here with Willie Pike. We see it with all the drivers. It's more drivers and jockeys that dictate turnover rather than trainers.
Yeah, that's right. I've got no doubt there's people that are over in the eastern seaboard that are having a bet on Gloucester Park that, Gary Hall Jr. and the like are probably, as you said, a point or two under for that reason as well.
Yeah,
certainly are. David, just one other question. Timing. Do we have any exact time as to when this is going to take place?
It'll definitely be in February.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the Hunter Cup and the Miracle Mile Carnival. So thinking probably the 7th, 8th of February, or one of the following 2 weekends. I think that's where it'll lob.
Okay.
We're just working with Sky at the moment to lock in the Friday night and Saturday night. That's all.
Yeah. And it's going to be Friday, Saturday night, one after the other.
Yeah. That's our intent to do that. We sort of thought particularly we're bringing drivers in and that.
Absolutely.
We've got drives afterwards, or if they're coming from WA, they might want to get back to drive on Monday. So it's basically bring them together and get it over them.
Yeah, that was.
But they're probably going to full go all weekend, but that's what happens when you're driving in these big carnivals as well. So.
No, that was important to understand that piece, because if it had been over a couple of weekends, makes it very difficult for some drivers. But so it'll be Friday, Saturday night, and then just going to work around the timing in between that sort of Hunter Cup, Miracle Mile period. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, look, it's been a concept that's taken probably about 2 years to pull together, money, because there are a few moving pieces to it.
Yeah.
And look, we're obviously trying to get everything right if we can, but as you know, Mick, when you work through these things, there's things that you probably don't quite think about. So we might have to think in our feet a little bit, but we'll certainly work with the slot holders to make it as good a concept as we can.
No, and I think it's a fantastic concept. The slots are 20,000 each. Is that correct?
That's it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a great concept, especially if we can get T-Trick out here. He loves a trip to to Australia. The McCarthy boys, if we can get them back here, and Bjorn Gorp would be a fabulous to have him out driving against our best, and be great to have a WA driver like Gary Hall Jr. or.
Certainly.
We got plenty.
We've got plenty of them from WA
that will be able to compete on the national level and have competed on the national level. And
I think, and I think also that whole draft, scenario. I'm sure over time, will just continue to evolve, and there's some really good opportunity around how you can package it and take it to market, and I think just different, which is great. It's what we need to do. Think outside the square, and certainly done that here, which is great.
We sort of certainly saw it as an opportunity, maybe there'd be some groups or companies that want to be involved, but potentially for punters and that to get involved, we think they might be able to game the system a bit, if you know what I mean, by getting the right driver and put them on the right horses. So at least it gives some engagement there for those, particularly people that really enjoy their harness racing, to be a real part of it.
Yeah, and you probably, if you do buy one and you're from interstate, you're going to have to get a bit of local knowledge on the form. No doubt.
Yeah, that's right. There might be a few Queensland form analysts who can make an earn out of it.
Yeah, be part of the syndicate. So it's certainly it's a great concept, and Bricky, you must be excited about the upcoming carnival, and we see Leap to Fame back in action last week. There was a few questions of whether he was going to get boxed in, but Grant made sure that he was the first one off and just made it a one-act affair, and it's great to have a flag bearer for the carnival in Leap to Fame.
Yeah, like you guys know, when you have horses like Quinny and the like, how that brings people through the gates. So it's I wasn't in Queensland when Blacks of Fate was here, but clearly he was the last headline act we had, and now it's Larry, which is great. But he goes around Saturday night again, and a bit different from the stand. So off the 20, let's see how he steps. But if he steps clean, you'd think he'll win that as well.
Did your handicappers miss a 0 on his handicap? 20.
I did see Jared Croker.
I saw Jared. Yeah, Jared Croker. And for people in WA who wouldn't know Jared, he's a former champion NRL player for Canberra, who follows the form very closely. Owns a lot of harness horses, involved with the Hewitts, who will be up at your carnival as well. And that the Rising Sun is becoming a great part of your carnival and a great lead into the Eureka.
Yeah, look, it has been. Well, we really think it's a good concept. The 3 and 4 year olds, it creates a bit of intrigue, and I think when the Eureka started, there was some concern that maybe it might take the gloss off the Rising Sun. I think connections are using the Rising Sun as an opportunity to get into that race, and so I know there's a number of horses that see the race that way. And they'll be taking on a number of horses that are already locked away, such as Captain's Knock and Extreme C and Frankie's Ferocious, who are already locked in for the race.
Yeah, it's a great... And Frankie Ferocious looked in good form in his trial on Wednesday at Menangle. I know Mort's is taking a keen eye on this form out of Queensland and Menangle with Never Ending coming over for the Eureka. But tell you what, the Extreme C's just jumped out of the ground. We know how good Frankie Ferocious is, and Captain Knock's very good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a really good crop of 4-year-olds. I think the Eureka last year, there was a discussion saying we sort of fluked a really good 4-year-old year to run the race the first time. But while there's probably not a leap to fame in terms of the headline act, it's going to be a great race. There's no doubt, and the depth is fantastic.
Yeah, and also you've got the Lost Storm, I think, coming up. Is he still scheduled to come up?
Yeah, no, he's locked in, that's for sure. So he's got a slot in the Rising Sun, so he's locked away, and the Stuart Tonkin team have got a fair team heading this way, that's for sure. And
Luke McCarthy's already up there as well.
He's been up there for a couple of weeks, so he's having a good stay, and he'll be right through until the carnival before he heads over to the US, I think.
Yeah, just having a look at the calendar, you've got some incredible racing coming up. Kicking off, you've got the Redcliffe Gold Cup. Like you said, you've got the Rising Sun, the Great Square, the Hayden, the Sunshine Sprint, the Golden Girls. It just goes on, and then on the final night you've got the Queensland Derby, the Oaks, the Blacks are fake. Just amazing racing, and the 2-year-old slot race as well. So it's an amazing.
Yeah, the Protestant.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah. Yeah, look, coming along well. I think 6 of the slot holders have locked in horses so far. So I think it'll be a pretty good field that's heading that way. As you know, with the calendar the way it is, there's some 2-year-olds that we probably won't see to the end of the year. But I think the best ones we've seen so far, are most of them heading up for the race.
Yeah, no, it's good. You've made winter your own, Ricky, and obviously the weather's much better in Queensland than most other places in winter. We're battling a bit of wet weather here at the moment. Not that we don't need the rain at the moment, but we're certainly like, I suppose, the East Coast at the moment. But the Winter Carnival should pick up for you, and no doubt the racing's picking up as we charge into the next couple of weeks, mate. So we appreciate you coming on, and we might even get a couple of updates as we go through from you about the Winter Carnival, and also how the Ultimate Driver Series comes as we start locking in drivers.
No, that'd be great. I'd appreciate the time, and just give me a bell anytime. I'd be happy to come on air, and hopefully we can get a few of you WA horses and potentially drivers over our way, either for the Carnival or for the Driver Series. That'd be great. Yeah,
unfortunately, Magnificent Storm, he was there last year. We don't have a runner this year. Lavery Joe were considering it, but unfortunately no one this year. But I think next year, mate, there might be a couple of horses, or at least one come over.
So absolutely, great carnival.
Yeah, really looking forward to watching it, and obviously the new concept of the Ultimate Driver. Ricky, mate, thanks for your time, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for the support. See you, gents.
Good on you. David Brick.
That was good, Michael.
Tell you what, David Brick's just about the best administrator in the country, in my opinion. There you go.
Apart from yourself.
Well, he's very switched on administrator. He's taken Queensland in the right direction. I think the Q-Bred's really good. He's built up this Winter Carnival.
That's an amazing carnival.
Yeah.
Quality carnival.
And obviously they've got a better time of year for the Winter Carnival, and they're helped by the Racing Carnival, the Thoroughbreds, the Strobrokes on during this time of year and all that, and they build on the back of that. And obviously that's a better time of year for them as opposed to when it gets really humid over there in the summer. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised next time the Inter-Dominion, they might even try and tack it into that Winter Carnival rather than run it, because it's very humid there in December.
Absolutely.
And it's not quite as good for them that time of year, whereas as it's the best time of year for us to race.
Yeah, no, that was great. It was an excellent conversation there with David. Learned a bit more about the concept around the whole...
There is a bit to get through it.
There is, but the whole draft...
As he said, a couple of moving parts, but I think it's fantastic. And it'd be great to have a WA driver there.
Yeah, certainly would.
To showcasing. And Queensland have got a slot in the Eureka where they send a Queensland bred and trained horse there, same as Tasmania. Would have been great for the WA to do that as well.
Why didn't that happen, Mike?
I'm not too sure. Just like there was a few things, like different slot holders and applications, but I think Queensland went hard at it. They've got the Hayden, which is run towards the tail end, and that's their slot holder that goes in there. But and they get to showcase their best. And it's good to see a WA horse there, but had to go and get your own slot. I mean, Queensland's, they've come from a low base. They've got 2.5 tracks, 3 tracks, Marburg's, the non-tab. So Redcliffe and Albion Park. And actually, we didn't ask Bricky where Albion Park is at the moment, because they were going to move.
They were planning to move,
but
weren't
it's
they?
all changed since the report came out about the Olympic infrastructure. So it looks like they're probably going to stay there at Albion Park, but obviously needs a lot of work done. Their grandstand
just about.
Well, it only holds a small amount of people. Like the Inter-Dominion probably held 1,500, 2,000 people sort of thing, just because that's all they can hold.
Yeah.
So they need some infrastructure there. The previous stand is no longer there, and they've only got one part of the stand there, so which finishes at the 150 metre mark sort of thing. So it definitely needs some infrastructure, but it's a great area. Like on the in Queensland. Like it's in
Yeah.
Brisbane at the Breakfast Creek Hotel there on the way into the city. It's a great spot and they're a big turnover track.
You know, it should be a fantastic carnival, and then leading into the Drivers' Series, which, as we said, a lot to digest.
Yeah.
And as it gets closer, I'd maybe get David back on just to, because, like I said, a few moving parts, and they'll firm them up as they get closer. But potentially could be a bit of fun. And
as soon as I was announced, I had one of our mates text us or message me about the possibility of getting a slot and putting a WA driver in there. So,
well, we've got plenty to choose from in WA that would be more than capable to go across there and hold their own against people, other drivers in the world. So
it'd be a great showcase for our drivers, and they are a major part of turnover. Yeah, the drivers.
There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
They do drive that.
Yeah, as we've seen in the thoroughbreds as well. You know, you may not know anything about Ascot, but if you're looking for a bet, and it's the last race, there's a good chance you're going to look for W Pike.
What percentage? What percentage of the market do you reckon he is every week? Like it's
correct.
That probably shouldn't be, but just is.
And
that's just
we have a similar thing here in WA with the harness. The thing with the harness is there's so many good drivers we've got here. So it's great. Enjoyed the chat. So hopefully we can get David back on as it gets a bit closer and see if we can finalise some more of the details. It'd be great.
Yep, and no doubt we'll take part in the carnival. We had a big interest there last year with Magnificent Storm. Not so much this year, but
I think Leap to Fame.
Leap to Fame, but
if
also
you're just a harness racing fan, you've just got to watch it just to watch him.
But also those 4-year-old races for us to watch to see who's going to take on Never Ending in the Eureka is going to be great as well. And it's great that Never Ending's got his slot and ready to rock and roll over there
looking forward to
in
it.
September.
It's coming around quickly. I think
isn't it?
I wrote a note the other day to some people. There was 96 days to go until race night. So we're probably down to about 94 or 93 now. So coming around very quick. Yes, very quickly.
Yeah, indeed. All right, this segment was brought to you by the one and only Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day.
Stop the press right
here. We go. Is it a double?
This weekend, this Friday, Saturday and Sunday, double the RAC discount. That's a 10%. Big 10%.
On the best price.
On the best price. On the best price. It's an absolute no-brainer. 10% for RAC members Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to buy that big screen TV and you're not an RAC member, well then go and become an RAC member because
it'll pay for it.
It will. It actually does. So if you're buying something, if you're making a big purchase this weekend, you need to get into your local Retrovision store.
Great supporters of harness racing. How many tracks do you sponsor, Morts? 4, 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
Bunbury,
Busselton, Gloucester Park, Pinjarra, and I'm pretty sure we'll be supporting Albany very shortly.
Big store down there.
Very, very happy. And of course, we've got our friends up there in Northern. We'd be keen to have a chat to them as well.
There we go. Great supporters.
Like I said, Northern, this coming week, they've got the York Cup being run there at Northern. Big 8-event card, kicking off at 5:48 p.m.
Let's see if Ollie can find the winner for us.
Certainly hope he can.
All right. Got any other news? Yeah.
Anything else there? There must be something else.
You've got reams of notes.
Well, my big disappointment of the week was there was no Bray and Ethan show this week.
Oh, wasn't there?
What's going on?
Sorry, I'll just turn it on. No, we recorded on Tuesday and it came out yesterday. So
Well, it didn't update on my podcast.
It came out yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe today, actually.
Yeah, maybe today, because when I checked, it wasn't there. I was going to have a listen. But, Michael, we talk about the greats of harness racing.
Yep.
You're right. And we love the greats of harness racing. It would be remiss of me not to say that football lost one of the giants of football in WA, John Todd. He was just a giant of the sport. He'll be sadly missed. won a Sandover medal at 17 years of age. Just unheard of. 13-time rep player for WA, 6-time premiership coach, inducted the Australian Hall of Fame, made a legend of the WA Football Hall of Fame. The list goes on and on. And we talk about, champions and superstars. He was just one of the greatest of all time and will be sadly missed. So that was...
Plenty of tributes and plenty of harness people tributes as well, because Trent Cooper, obviously close. Did our man Fitzy play under Ross?
He did. Every...
Swan Districts?
His first coach that he had at Swan Districts was John Todd, and was having a chat with him, with Ross last night about his memories of Toddy, and he said he was pretty tough, uncompromising, but his record just spoke for itself, and he was just a superstar of the sport and just an absolute legend icon. No longer with us, unfortunately.
86.
Yes.
86.
Yep.
All right.
Coached down at East Fremantle, so he saw the light eventually. No, that's all the...
All right, it's time to take a break, Morts. And as we go to the break, last week's feature is the Ray Duffy Memorial, and it looked to be a good race. Well, Finbarra looked to be the one to beat on paper. I heard Junior after the interview probably thought he went a little bit unders compared to what he thought he was, and didn't feel as good as he did the previous week when he went like went massive. But once again, it was a Hall Quinella trifecta. Wild West, isn't he going good?
He was a great run, and even Diego, because that's not normally his. It's not normally his go. Coming from back in the field, albeit it was only a small field, but Wild West certainly looked a big chance on the turn, but Finbarra was just too good in the end.
And those two go back in this week in the free for all. Wild West drawn $2.85. He hasn't been $1.85 for a while. Junior jumps back aboard. Diego's at $4.60. Steal the Show at $2.60. They're the runners under double figures. Galactic Stars drawn a pole at $14. As we take a break, let's listen to Finbarra getting the job done against his stablemates.
Lined up 28.2 the next quarter. Finbarra just in front of Steal the Show. The inside is Too Fast, Too Serious. Wild West is coming down the outside, and so is Diego. Finbarra's got the lead. They're coming. Wild West, Diego flashing home. Finbarra's in front. Wild West, Diego lunging. Finbarra just wins from Wild West, Diego in a photo, and then Too Fast, Too Serious. Steal the
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Outsiders raced up to Winegum and then Better Move Along. Captain Blind looked to be gone from Cowboys and Bandits, but Hale St. Louis has raced up and taken the lead from Winegum. Little bit of fun getting out is Better Move Along, and then Little Bit of Fun, but Hale St. Louis, too classy for them, comes away for Edgerton Green and wins it well. Hale St. Louis first, second home. Winegum, Better Move
Hale St. Louis for Dylan Edgerton Green, and he backs up this week and is the favourite for our feature race of the night in the Pure Steel. He'll have to do it a little bit different as far as tactic-wise, I think, Morts?
Certainly will, but it was a very patient drive last Friday night by Dylan Edgerton Green. Just beautifully rated, got him in the race at the right time and managed to win easily enough. But, certainly might need to rethink that for this weekend. The Pure Steel... It's a good field, that.
And Dylan's managed this horse really well. He's won 8 of 16 with 5 minors, really picked the eyes out of the races for him and progressed him through, and won on the provincials, and now brings him to the city and could win the main race of the night, which is a $30,000 race.
Another horse he's got in the race too, which has been going very well, is Mungatahi.
Yep.
Been going along really, really well, and he's just drawn out there in 6. Makes it a little bit harder from out there. Then you've got Captain Bligh a little bit further out and Max Better. So there's there's plenty of chances in a fairly even race, but Hale St. Louis going extremely well.
And on Tab Touch has been firmed $1.55 into $1.45 for Hale St. Louis.
Wow.
He's the pronounced favourite. Mungatahi's solid at 16. Paul Edward is at 5.50. That's another one of Dylan's, isn't it?
Yes,
it is. So he's got a three-pronged attack and all probably live chances, Morts.
Absolutely, with his best chance drawing the pole.
All right, this segment is brought to you by Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work. And they're all over, not only Australia, they're in New Zealand, they're in America. If you look at Ross Fitzgerald's LinkedIn page, he's always promoting the international places that not only he's going to, but are promoting Steel Blue Boots, and they are the best boots, Morts.
Well, he's an international person,
Isn't he?
Is our
Isn't
Ross Fitzgerald. He is the global.
Probably cheered on Queensland last night as well.
I don't want to talk about.
No, I do not want to talk.
Don't want to talk about the state of origin. That was not very good viewing. But Steel Blue Boots, a mark of true skill, designed for comfort, durability, and choice, backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee. Michael.
All right, it's time to welcome in our form expert, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, welcome to the program. Not a bad week last week, I'm told.
No, good. 5 unit of the money. Out of Red also won.
Yes,
there, but thanks, Paul.
Now, Bomber, we're on a very strict deadline tonight, which means we've got no opportunity to discuss football whatsoever.
No, I deep more, so disappointing, but yeah, we hope we can find 4 wins.
All right, now we're just having a little bit of trouble. So hopefully that the signal kicks in, and it's only Broome, isn't it? It's not too far away.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too far away. But the first race we got to look at is race number 1. We've got 9 races on the card, 10 races on the card tomorrow night. 4:26 the first. This is an early start again. There's actually fireworks out the front of Optus Stadium at 9:30, so we thought we'd move forward and avoid them.
Right, okay. Plus,
late notice.
Still trialling the early starts?
No, it wasn't a trial. It was just to avoid a couple of different things around area, and it fitted in. But it actually is going to give us some good data about possibility of moving forward, going forward. And if it is better for us to race earlier, then I think we should take the opportunity to do so. Particularly,
you'll be able to knock off earlier on a Friday night, Michael.
Well, particularly in winter. I mean, the more people that are viewing it and betting on it, the better hopefully we'll be.
Yeah, great.
The first is at 4:26, 10 races. The Pure Steel is race number 5 on the card, worth 30,000 the feature. In the first, we got Prince of Pain for Team Bond and Denny Roberts drawn the pole. Our man on harness has got a
$2.50.
$2.50 ahead of Gully Gum for Bob Millsop and Mitchell Miller at $3.80. Finish Sticks Cold Hard Cash on their outsides. And on the back line, we've got Wine Gum drawn 10, and Linebacker should be in single figures for this race. Bomber, the first race, can you kick us off with a winner?
Yeah, I think so, Rad. So, pretty keen Prince of Pain. He gets the opportunity to get the lead here. In front, he's got to be the one to beat. He races pretty well at Gloucester. He gets from 1 8, but never any further back and forth. Raced some pretty nice orders. I was pretty tough with his run of Pindara last time. He hit the line really hard from last in the 55 last half. Between horses on the way up. There'll be some early challenges off the ground, but I think he can hold up, steal a quarter, and chance on the way home.
We're having a little bit of issues with your Bomber. We've got every second one. We're missing one every third. Maybe we can get you move or put your leg in the air, or arm in the air, or move to just to your left.
How's that?
Is that better?
I don't know.
I've got a bit of an echo.
Okay, well, I'll read out this last piece. In race 1 there, we're talking about number 1, Prince of Pain. You thought he was very good last time at Pinjarra when running up behind horses from last and clocking 55 on the way home. In doing so, there will be some challenges off the arm, but don't think they'll want to go on with it, so he should be able to steal a quarter and give himself every chance on the way home. So that's race number 1, horse number 1, Prince of Pain, and of course right on his back, Bomber, is number 10 Wine Gum for Cat Warwick and Chris Lewis, who absolutely just pulled first up, but a much better run there second up. So certainly want to keep an eye on where Chris Lewis is in running, Bomber.
Yeah, I think Danny gets that though. So it's going to be for sure.
Yep. So Bomber, race 1, horse number 1, Prince of Pain for Team Bond and Denny Roberts. What's our staking plan?
3-unit bet.
3-unit bet.
3-unit bet. All right. Now we're going to try race number 2, and if it doesn't go any better, Bomber, we just might do it ourselves in the third segment and get it through that way, rather than put us all through the pain of hearing 2 out of 3 words. But we'll try it one more time. Race number 2 is the Cownie Insurance Brokers, 2130 metres, and no market up as yet, but You're So Fine. No doubt Hall probably had a chance of driving a couple in the race. He's gone with You're So Fine from barrier 4 for his father senior. Don't Be Silly Chili's drawn the pole. Navy Street's there in barrier 3. October Rain in 5. Alterette, last start winner in 7. Little Happy Fella outside the front line. I Feel Sickdale, Infinite Sign, and Cloud9 off the back line. $1.90 in the predictive market on harness.org. Bomber, which way are we going for race number 2?
Yeah, and you also find roads. That doesn't sound bad. I can hear you guys fine.
We're breaking up there. So we might let you go because it's. I think it's more pain for everyone than. But we'll let you go because we got your numbers and your summary, mate. Thanks for that. We'll talk to you. We might talk to you next week.
No worries, guys. Sounds good.
All right, good on you. It's having a few issues. We are in a different studio, hopefully for only a week or so.
Yes, we are, which is Make Do Studio for how long, Michael?
Hopefully 2 weeks.
So another 2?
Is that right, Brain?
I think we're here for another week after this.
Okay.
One more
sound
week.
of things.
Okay.
Right, okay.
All right.
At least I found it easy enough this week.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a
that would have been handy.
challenge last week.
All right. Do you want to read out Bomber's tips for race number 2? This is race number 2.
Race number 2. Number 4, You're So Fine, is the class and looks beautifully placed here with a massive class drop. He has good gate speed without being brilliant, and expect he will hold the outside brigade before bullying his way to the top and being too good. He's had 2 runs from a spell, and first up in free-for-all grade, he ran home himself in 55.8, beaten less than 10 metres, and then last time he ran a 56.8 again, doing all the work. He drops significantly in grade here, and nothing here can run those times, let alone give him a start and run him over. I just hope Matty Young has got the price right here, as he has marked him $1.90, and if we get that, we can be on very good terms with ourselves, as he will start much, much shorter. And just based on that, race number 2, horse number 4, obviously very, very bullish is our man Scott Bomber Hill. The big 5-unit bet.
5 units for You're So Fine. Junior jumping on for senior.
And last week, Junior was on Alterette for Sarah Wall and declared it on the radio, on the show, and that got the money. And we all went home with big pockets full of money last week, Michael. It was good.
Well, in fact, let's go to a break, Morts. And as we go to the break, let's listen to Alterette, who declared by Junior, heavily supported. As we go to the break, here is Alterette winning race number 8 at Gloucester Park last week.
With Rock Me Over out wider as well. Cool to Arms battling on, and then here comes Sharky getting up on the inside as they come around the home turn, and Alterette is nicely out in front. Leads clearly from Cool to Arms, G. Smith. Down the outside is Rock Me Over running on late, but it's Alterette well clear. Over Cool to Arms, G. Smith, Rock Me Over the outside, but Alterette races home to win it well from Cool to Arms, Rock Me Over, G. Smith. Here comes Sharky, Cavalry call.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater, DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
On out wider and badly held up. Dominus Factum in the straight. The Codebreaker has got the lead. Here comes Magnus Victor down the outside. The Codebreaker's in front though. He's got them from Magnus Victor, Celesio Matuka, and then You're So Fine, and the Codebreaker does it all the way from second home on the outside.
That was the Codebreaker, Morts, bouncing back into the winners list.
Easy watch.
Yeah, it was an easy watch, and he goes around this week in a real tough race, and we're about to preview it very shortly with Bomber's selections. It's going around in race number 7 in a really good field. It's an interesting race, but he's drawn the outside and is a little bit harder assignment this week, though, Morts.
Certainly hope it is harder for him, Michael. A lot harder. It's a really nice race, that race number 7. Yeah. There's so many what ifs at the start. We've got the two from Aiden's camp, the Mickey Taker and Dominus Factum. Dominus Factum, good gate speed. Mickey Taker, one of the toughest there is. Got Rockmeister, Lusaka, Rolling Fire. State of Heaven was amazing last start, and the Codebreaker last week. So it's just a terrific field.
Yeah, we're going to go through it in just a moment, but this segment, Morts, is brought to you by Loans 123, car loans, debt consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see?
The Nerd Nut, Steve Sell.
Yeah, and you can do that by logging on to loans123.com.au or calling them on 1-800...
100.
Yes.
He's still doing things the banks can't, Michael. And whilst he wasn't required last Friday night, just a very handy person to have on the ready for
anything you need.
Yeah,
if you need to refinance,
whatever you need, the car loan, personal loan, you name it.
Need
Great
something
man
extra.
to help you.
Yeah, he's the man. All right, let's have a look at race number 7 tomorrow night at Gloucester Park. It's the next race that Bomber's got to preview. Unfortunately, the line wasn't great to Bomber, so we've dismissed him for the night.
We gave him the old Chaminda. Yep, he's gone.
And we're going to go through it for him, but he sent us our thoughts, and they are his tips. But let's have a look at the Tab Touch market for race number 7. And we've got Aiden De Campo. He's got the 1 and 2. The Mickey Taker, $5.50. Dominus Factum, who's got good speed, cross from out wide. Last start in a similar race at $7.50. Rockmeister is the favourite at $3.20. Lusaka, who was fabulous and been going really well, $3.50. Equal with Rolling Fire, $3.50. State of Heaven, last start winner, $23. And the Codebreaker, who we just heard, last start winner at $12. Morts, this is a really good race, competitive. Only the 7 going around, but really competitive, and you can make a case for all 7.
You certainly can. It's a really difficult race, and there's so many different scenarios here. But our man Bomber, race number 7, number 4 Lusaka has been low flying of late and should find himself close enough here, I think. The worst I can see him here is 1x2 and could even land the 1x1. There looks to be enough speed, and he can sit on that and has the capacity to get down near 55 for his last half. So with a little bit of speed and the right run, he can be very, very dangerous late. He hit the line really hard last time when taking 6 metres off Rolling Fire over the last 800 metres, and hopefully he'll be right on his hammer this time with the last shot. Well, Bomber, hope you're wrong.
Well, he went against us last time.
Yep, hope he's wrong, but yeah, like you said, Michael, it is a great race, so there's plenty of opportunities, and the market does reflect that. $3.50 for Lusaka and Rolling Fire, and was it $3.20 for Rockmeister, which surprised me. I thought it could have been the other way around with Lusaka.
I thought Lusaka might have been favourite.
Yep, but that's just how wide open it is. Anyway, Bomber has gone a 1-unit bet in race number 7, horse number 4, Lusaka.
Yeah, he's certainly got plenty of ability, and no doubt is a real winning chance in a race that has almost every horse has got a chance to win the race.
Yeah, and Team Bond, Danny Roberts, pretty good combination.
Yep, sure are. All right, race number 9's the final race we're going to look at, and it's the 2-year-old fillies. Unfortunately, Quintessa, who was debuting for Justin Prentice, has scratched. Not good news there, Morts?
No, unfortunately, just a setback there, so it's out, unfortunately.
Tell you what, it's a really good race, though. We've got in the race, Highview Heidi's outside of the front and outside of the 8 runners, and geez, isn't she going well? For the team, stablemate Scooby's doubles in 4. You've got Ruby Lou, who's resuming. 4 Mel, who's been really consistent, and Better Get On Pip. Wasn't she really good through that Sales Classic series, and she resumes for Ryan Bell and Kyle Symington. It's a 2-year-old fillies. It's a really good race, and all these fillies are starting to come back in now and getting ready for the Diamond Classic and the Westbred and all those races in a couple of months' time. But this is their first step towards it for a number of them. Which way Bomber's going in race number 9?
Race number 9. Horse number 5, Better Get On Pip, really impressed me at her first campaign, and she gets the barrier draw advantage over Highview Heidi despite lacking the race fitness. She comes here without a trial, but Belly has plenty at home to get a nice enough indicator as to where she is at. The two of them have only met on the one occasion, and we couldn't really take much from it, as Better Get On Pip did all the work in the breeze, and Hillview Heidi was completely luckless from behind the leader. With the barrier draw advantage, I think only lack of fitness can bring Better Get On Pip undone. Like you said, Michael, great race. Highview Heidi last start, fantastic win. Christopher Voke. Ruby Lou for Mike Reid and Shannon Savelko, plenty of depth
in match
there.
market, we've got Highview Heidi 245, Better Get On Pip 550. They're the 2 runners under double figures. Quintessa would have been in the market.
Yes.
But now it's probably a little bit more pronounced. And Ruby Lou, she's got to be in the market as well. She's
Absolutely.
Single figures for Mike Reid. And Tim Gossage in the ownership of Better Get On Pip.
Oh, very good.
Tim will be up there.
So race 9, horse number 5, Better Get On Pip, is a 2-unit bet for our man Scott Bomberhill to finish off what is going to be a great night of harness racing at Gloucester Park.
Yep. It is 10-race card, as I said. The first early start, 4:26. No multi this week from Bomber.
No multi last week, but we still managed to finish up 6 units, so we
don't need it.
No, he didn't need it.
Don't take the SRS, just get the 4, and he seems pretty confident, particularly those first couple.
Yeah, certainly does seem very confident, and you're so fine, as he said, just plenty of class. Prince of Pains got the draw. The only thing that will probably, could possibly beat the one in the last would be a lack of race fitness, and very confident Lusaka in a race it's very hard to be confident in because there's so many good chances, but
Indeed.
Very difficult.
It's going to be a good meeting. You'll be out there?
Certainly be out there, absolutely.
Cheering on.
Now, Michael, I do have to mention this.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
Yeah, okay.
Just people with sense of humour, which is good. On Friday night, we have the other meeting, which is Wagen, which is great.
Yep,
we need
more Friday night dual meetings.
So we've got 7 races there, starting at 5:35 p.m.
Yeah.
Now, race 2 is no surprise, the Support Live Sheep Export.
Okay.
Race 3 is the Live Export is vital for rural communities. Race 4 is the You Got to Be Joking, EWE. You've Got to Be Joking, Labor Party 4-year-old Westbred Pace. And race 5 is the Shanks for Nothing Elbow and Mobile Start Pace. Very good to see somebody's got a good sense of humour down there at Wagen. So
obviously a big part of the community down there.
Absolutely, certainly is. And I just saw that when I was looking through the fields and thought, how good's that?
We'll see if Ollie can find a couple of winners at Wagen on Friday night.
Yeah, and then a good card on Saturday night at Northern.
Yep. Friday, Saturday night racing this week in the West. It's time to take a break, Morts. Now, last week, race number 6 was the Retrovision Every Day's a Sale stand start. Every day, and it is every day's a sale.
Standing start. Yeah, thank you for that, Mark.
And so we had a couple of horses that were debuting. we had Montana DJ and Frankie Major. They were the favourites. Didn't quite work out that way when Bellissimo Acquisto ended up holding the front. And Carana, who's nothing if not consistent.
Well,
had the set on him.
Yeah, they
came off the 20 for Denny. And,
they just went crazy up front.
Yeah, tracked into the race, and it was the one you wanted to be on a fair way out, wasn't it?
Certainly was, because Montana DJ didn't give us any indication as to how good he is. Just completely blew the start. So that was a shame. Would have been good to get a bit of a read on just how talented the horse is, because there's some pretty good raps on him. But Carana, after they'd gone a couple of 100 metres, you just wanted to get in the queue if you're on him.
All right, let's go to the break and listen to Carana winning the Retrovision. Every day's a sales standstill.
But Carana dashed away around the turn. 28.5 the next quarter. Bolted 6 metres in front of Call Me What You Want. Two Bob Cracker tries to get going with Montana DJ and Bellissimo Acquisto. Carana never looked like losing though. Broke clear over the final stages from Bellissimo Acquisto. Call Me What You Want in a great photo for second and third. And then
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
400, that quarter, just double checking. It's correct. 26.6 as they come to the turn. Artful Mickey with speed to burn. Leads out by 20 metres. Switchblades in second place. Third there is Rockin' Lamont. Oh Mickey peaking on the run. Into the straight they come. In front though, it is with Artful Mickey. Fighting out the minors. It's going to be a good contest. On the inside, Switchblades trying to hold second, but it is Artful Mickey on debut and is devastating. 28 for on the way home. Won by about 25 metres. Switchblade second. Rockin' Lamont. Oh Mickey.
Well, Morts, you were part owner of that horse, Artful Mickey, and could not have been more impressive.
Yeah, look, patience pays off.
Having his first start as a 3-year-old. Saying that's the 3-year-old, it's not as if it's too old.
No,
missed his 2-year-old season.
He's had a few times where we thought he's just about ready to race, and just he produces a couple of little tricks out of his bag and got put back. But no, it was a good win. It was a nice win.
Bought him out of the Sydney APG sale.
Correct.
A couple of years ago. Johnny McCarthy inspected him.
Yes, and you were across there at the time.
I was over there. I didn't help John in any way. But I stood there. Actually, I think I bid on him.
Oh,
for Justin.
Yeah, no, it was good to see him finally make the track, and some new owners in that horse too, which was fantastic. So
yeah,
it's good.
And a couple of old faces in there as well.
Yeah, always good to have some new ones in there as well.
Bred by Tony Dummersney, brother of John from Harness, formerly from Harness Racing New South Wales, now enjoying the retired life.
And in the ownership is somebody who used to be associated with Bayswater Mazda, who is the sponsor of this segment.
Yeah.
The great Anthony Caminiti. So,
first horse?
No, second. Seaside Rose.
Oh, okay.
And into this fella now.
Oh, so, good.
Yeah, which is nice. So.
Oh, outstanding. Good to see you got a win.
Yeah.
And Greg Tomich is in there?
Yes, the usual suspects, Brennan's and
Heath.
Yep. That's good.
Bruce Jones.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was good, very good. So always good to get some new owners involved in the sport.
Speaking of Bayswater Mazda, Morts, this segment's brought to you by Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads. And I tell you what, you drove today, and it was like getting an Uber Black. Or whatever the highest Uber is now. It was fantastic. I got to sit there.
Picked up from Gloucester Park and delivered in style.
Yeah,
Mazda 626 Turbo. It's an absolute dream to drive. It's a lovely car, very well appointed inside, nice and smooth, plenty of power. And more importantly, Bayswater Mazda on the corner of Garrett Road and Guildford Road. Great team, great service, great coffee.
Yeah.
Get down there and see the team at Bayswater Mazda.
A car, a truck, the big 4-wheel drives, they'll look after you.
Certainly will.
All right, time to welcome in our man who had a hot hand last week, Ollie Cownie. Ollie, welcome to the program.
Great to be on, Morts and Rad.
Yeah, a good week last week.
Certainly was.
Always nice, funny. A few wins. A few of them were pretty short quotes, but still good to get it done.
When you're 100%, though, that helps.
Yeah, it's always hard. It's always hard when you don't have the markets and you kind of hope that you're going to get X and it comes up a bit short. But even still, 4 selections for 4 wins. Very good work, Ollie. We'll take that all day, every day.
All right. Now, we've got a few meetings over the weekend. We've got Wagen, which is the second Friday night meeting. 7 races at Wagen tomorrow night. The first at 5:35. Then we got Northam on Saturday night. It's 8 races. The first at 5:48. The feature is the Glenroy Shaft York Cup stand start. Over the 2560 metres, and a good field engaged there. And we might even get a tip out of Albion Park. We had David Brick on earlier this evening chatting about the great new concept, the Ultimate Driver plus their Carnival, which is coming up, and plenty of the big names are at Albion Park in the next couple of weeks. Luke McCarthy's been there for the last couple of weeks. But Ollie, Wagen on Friday night, 7 races, as I said. The first at 5:35. Plenty supporting the live sheep export in the names. What have we got for Wagen on Friday night for the punters?
We're going to kick off in race 2 with Krakatini. I think he lands a really winnable race here. 2 back, he was competitive from a bad draw, going up the pegs behind the weight. He was beaten only just a few metres, and then last start, he was just fair. Thought he'd have the gate speed to find a 4 position here, and then has some options with the stablemate drawn directly to his outside. So I think at an each-way price, I think Krakatini looks a good way to play race 2 there.
And how good's Lang Inward going? So certainly from the right stable there, Ollie, that's for sure.
Airborne at the moment, Lang Inward.
All right, what else you got for us?
Race 5, I've got a horse that I think's going really well for his new trainer now. Magic recently switched into the Jeremy Thornton stable and was the beneficiary of a pretty solid tempo 2 back and beat the Smart Instigator, who's probably too good for anything in this field. Then last start was badly held up behind Lord Titanium, IC5, Copper Cote, and Corey Peterson jumps on here. Looks a bonus. Back row draw doesn't look an issue at all for this type of horse. I think can be set up and with some early tempo, I think can run into it late. So Magic Bay, I think also at each way odds would be a good way to play race 5.
All right, so 2-3 each way, and race 5, number 9, also on the each way basis. Corey Peterson
showing $10, Michael, on the harness website. So anything close to that'd be great.
That is Wagen on Friday night. Then we move Saturday night. It is Northam on Saturday night, the first at 5:48. As I said, the feature is race number 6, the York Cup. What do you got for us at Northam on Saturday night, Ollie?
Going to kick off at Northam in race 3. It's just a shot away. Started his campaign nicely. Returning from a spell at Pinjarra, won nicely after showing good gate speed. Was then able to run a couple of good placings, which suggested he was probably nearing a win, and then was seemingly pretty disappointing last start, but possibly just didn't handle the track. Since trialled quite nicely at Byford, working home nicely. I think from the low draw here can find the lead, and from there should be pretty hard to beat if he handles the track this time.
All right, 3, number 1. What else you got for us?
Race 4, I've got one that'll likely be pretty big odds and mostly a place angle. The Falcon Prince. You Fly With Me tends to be pretty slow away from inside the back row. Recently found himself shuffled back on the pegs at Gloucester Park. I think if the Falcon Prince can sneak into leaders back here behind Bronzed, he'd be fairly competitive. His last 2, he's just got back to the rear from wide barriers and has battled on okay. I think over the mile should be nice and fit and can battle into second or third here, the Falcon Prince.
Should be big place price for us if we can
absolutely
get a tow home. Is that all you got, or you got any more for us in Northam?
In the Northern Cup, I own a small share in Montana DJ, so I'm hoping he is able to get the job done. We're just hoping he steps this time.
Yeah.
That'd be handy.
We mentioned that previously, and we didn't sort of get to see what he can do. But he certainly, if he steps, he's got to be the one to beat. What did Michael say, how he pulled up?
Yeah, he pulled up really well. I think he likes him as a horse and thinks he's quite a nice horse, but obviously after last start, he's just as concerned as any of us that he won't step. But if he does step, then he's confident that he'll be able to win this race, I think, from just about anywhere, from the breeze leading, yeah.
Okay. In junior, we trust to get him away.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to.
Up against Street Hawk. And,
Vanderbilt. Been going very well for Ray Williams, but interesting race.
Yep, the York Cup Saturday night race number 6 on the Northern card. And Ollie, Albion Park, it's going to be the centre of all attention in the coming weeks with the big the winter carnival up there at Albion Park, and we've seen Luke McCarthy there for the last couple of weeks, and we're starting to see the others trial and get up to Queensland. Have you got us? We've got the Flashing Red standing start on Friday night, Saturday night I should say. Leap to Fame off 20 against in his discretionary. You sure it was discretionary?
I was quite shocked to see he only got 20 metres.
May as well have no handicaps, but it's the stand start. He's off 20. So just giving him a break so he doesn't have to be near any horses off the 10. So, what have you got for us at Albion Park?
Just about be winning that.
Yeah, you think so? You would hope so. The 26.47, even if he doesn't get away too well, he gets a chance to pick him up and go around him.
Gallop for the first half lap, wouldn't matter.
Yeah. What do you got for us at Albion Park? Anything for us at Albion Park Saturday night, Ollie?
In race 2, I've got one here which we might multi into a couple of others, which includes Leap to Fame. Jim RT in race 2 trialled up exceptionally well, glued to the helmet of Leap to Fame. Was travelling really easy there. Slick last 1200, he was super. And then first up, he was heavily backed and it was near impossible sitting off the pegs in a pretty slick mile. First 3 home all on the fence, and he was 4th in that race, so he was still really good. He's claimed back into a band 5 here. Looks a near moral in this race, so I'm just hoping we get a price about him. But if we don't, in the following race, Captain Shuffles, I think he'll lead and win, and then later on Leap to Fame will win too. So could make a good 3-leg multi, that one. All
right, race 2, number 1, Jim RT. Race 3, number 5, Captain Shuffles. And the Superstar, race 4, number 13, Leap to Fame, going around in the Flashing Red handicap on Saturday night at Albion Park. But a few horses getting ready to go up there. We spoke to David Brick earlier, Ollie, and Frankie Ferocious trialled beautifully at Menangle on Wednesday. He heads up there for the Rising Sun and other races, and Emma Stewart's also taking a big team up there. So no doubt in the next couple of weeks they're going to be arriving en masse.
Can't wait. It's almost like Christmas Eve the next few weeks. It's just, the anticipation is amazing. Should be some awesome racing over the next couple of months.
All right. Let's hope we find a few winners, Ollie. Thanks for your time. Thanks for the tips at Wager Northern and Albion Park, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thanks very much, guys.
Good on you. Ollie Cownie there. 5 from 5.
Good form. Very good form.
And a bit of value there this week as well in the country
like
races.
I said, the hard thing is when you tip on a Thursday for Saturday night or Sunday.
No markets up.
Very hard.
Yeah.
You always hope you're going to get a better price than what you do sometimes, but not to be. But anyway, 4 out of 4 was great.
Yep, sure is. All right, big show, Morts. Bricky was great. Interesting, that concept, isn't it? The Ultimate Driver. No doubt we'll talk about it.
Yeah, as it evolves, and they. But yeah, certainly it's something different, which is what I love about it the most.
Yep.
And somebody thinking about trying to. Find some other way to get some interest in the sport, and certainly when you go through the names like McCarthy and the Halls and the T-Tricks and the Dexters and There's so many good drivers
It's a great
around.
concept,
If you're able to get them somewhere on the one weekend to compete against each other, that must be good for racing.
Harness racing in general,
Yep,
that's right.
absolutely.
Exactly. Now, looking forward to that. Hopefully we've found a few winners. Unfortunately, Bomber's phone connection wasn't great. Hopefully the winners come through, though, or 3 out of 4 anyway.
Yeah.
You'll be there?
Certainly will. Looking forward to being there tomorrow.
Early start, and good racing throughout the night. Looking forward to it, Morts.
One thing I'm looking forward to, now that I've seen it on my podcast, is having a listen to Bray and Ethan.
Oh, it's popped up.
Yep, it's popped up, so I'll be, after I've listened to a repeat of Talking Trots to critique the show, I'll sit back and listen to...
Send through the notes as normal.
Yes. So now looking forward to it. Should be a great weekend, some great racing, and kicks off tomorrow night at Gloucester Park. Early start, don't forget.
All right, thanks to Bray for pushing the buttons. Thanks, Morts. Thanks to Bomber and Ollie and our guest David Brick. Hopefully we've found a few winners. Good luck on the weekend. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.